Okay, this is going to be a really quick, short assignment. It's only two questions. I'm going to do one of them, so you only have to do one. The point of me making this short assignment is I really want you to focus on the other assignment that's due this week. That one's a little bit tougher, a little bit longer, so I know that that one's a little bit tougher. So I want you to focus on that one, and I try to give you one to kind of give you a little break on this one. If you have questions on this one or the other one, please reach out. That other one's going to be a very familiar to the stuff that you're seeing in your 143 class. It's the tougher material. So I'll be glad to help you out with that one if you're stuck on it. All right, but let's get into it. So with this one, I'm just going to ask you to balance a budget or scenario. So I have Joey grosses $3,500 each month. I'm going to highlight a word here. The word gross is how much you make before taxes and other things are deducted. The value that we gross doesn't have a huge impact on what our monthly budget is or what our yearly budget is. It's a nice number to talk about, and usually when we talk about our salaries, we talk about the gross amount, but it doesn't really help us in any way to come up with our monthly budgets. So we're more concerned about the net amount. So that first sentence was kind of unnecessary. And then after taxes and his insurance are taken out of his check, he nets $2,650 each month. So this one's going to be what we're going to go off of. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And I see that I'm talking about monthly here. So I want to make sure that I have the same units when I'm talking about these values. I don't want to use a monthly unit and add it or subtract it to a yearly unit. So I'm going to convert everything to months. But this is going to be $2,650. I'm not going to write the dollar sign, but I am going to go ahead and write the decimals to represent my 2 cent. Anytime I talk about money, I generally want to go ahead and have two decimal places because that's our cent. All right, let's proceed. Joey has a $430.20 car payment. I'm going to underline that as I go through it. And a $730.67 house payment each month. So if these are his payments, these get subtracted, right? These are coming out of his budget. So I'm going to write them underneath, line up your decimals, and subtract these payments. Sorry. All right, the other thing to focus on there is that was each month. Like I said earlier, if this would have said yearly, we would need to divide that by 12 and figure out what his monthly cost is. If it was weekly, we would need to times that by 4. We generally say that 1 or 4 weeks is 1 month to figure out what his monthly cost is. So just make sure your units are lining up before you try to add and subtract them. All right, he also has a gym membership that costs him $1,000 annually. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This is an annual amount. So I need to convert that to months. So I can divide by 12, and you can do the full process of dimensional analysis, or you can just divide by 12. I'm going to grab my calculator off to the side to do these calculations. So I have 1,000 divided by 12, and that gives me $83.33. And we're always going to round to the nearest cent when we're talking about money. So even though that wasn't 83.33 exactly, I'm going to round to near cent. So that gives me 83.33 per month, right? So that's 83.33 per month is what that would be. All right. And then I finally get to the question, so it's not a hard question at all. Find how much Joey will have to spend on gas, food, and other expenses each month. So I only gave you 3 expenses and his net salary. So we just take his net salary, we subtract the 3 expenses, and that should be our answer. And I am getting $1,405.80. That's how much Joey's going to have for his other expenses. That may seem like a lot, but by the time you get done paying for your food and your gas, that extra money is going to go away very quickly. So he'll want to make sure that he has plenty of money left over after he's paid for his car, his house, and his gym membership, because he will have plenty of other expenses. But that does answer the question. So all I was looking for here is after he's done paying those expenses, how much money does he have left over? And that's how you would do it. Your job is a scenario very similar to this. It's Rhonda. And just my only advice is to make sure that you convert everything to the same units, whether that be monthly, yearly, or whatever it may be, before you try to do any type of subtractions. But that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully it's a quick assignment so you can focus on your other homework assignment this week.